The Heart Association says that 1/3 of U.S. adults have at least 3 risk factors for the syndrome. There are many risk factors, and they include obesity, high blood pressure, high blood sugar. And from the kidneys, the rate they remove contaminants from the blood. Oftentimes, people talk about how the kidneys and heart are like an old married couple. We've known for some time that having kidney disease increases your risk of developing heart disease. So there's this connection that exists. And the reverse is also true. Having heart disease makes you more at risk for having kidney disease. Humans have been adapting to our environment as long as we've been around. It's how we've settled everywhere from the bitter cold Arctic to the scorching desert heat. But with the heat waves, storms and other extreme events fueled by our rapidly changing climate, we're having to adapt on a scale we've never experienced before. Silver Star has been here since 1936. It is, once Homestake closed, the oldest continuously operating business in town. I bought it in August 2001. Homestake was almost closed at that point. They took their last load of gold out in December of 2001. So I knew the business was probably at the bottom. There was this perception that the lab would come and save us. I don't want to be really derogatory, but it feels sometimes like they think they're doing super important work. And that the things that have happened here with mining and with our history are embarrassing. And they don't want to have anything to do with that history. And they don't understand the people that are here as a result of that history. Galileo Galilei went beyond the limitations of pure logic and argued that any physical theory claiming to describe reality must also make predictions that stand up to the scrutiny of experiments. He found experimentally, for example, that heavy objects do not accelerate faster than light objects under the influence of gravity, as previously thought. This result laid the foundation for Albert Einstein's later realization that gravity is not a force but the curvature of spacetime that all test objects respond to in the same way. There was this perception that the lab would come and save us. I don't want to be really derogatory, but it feels sometimes like they think they're doing super important work. And that the things that have happened here with mining and with our history are embarrassing. And they don't want to have anything to do with that history. And they don't understand the people that are here as a result of that history. Basically, the Department of Defense hadn't calculated properly. The DoD had made incorrect assumptions about the altitude of nuclear explosions aimed at destroying the silos. Initially, it had thought the nuclear explosions would need to be at an altitude. But, they actually needed to be at ground level. You have to understand, this was 1979. There was no methodology, there was no protocol for mapping landfills. We actually went to archival records, old maps, and reports for the data. And we actually went out and got the addresses of landfills that we had found and physically stood on the site to see them. Subscribe ASM Immigroup for more tips and practice online.